be happening. We trust these people explicitly.
That's right. That's the attitude. And especially in America, where they believe that this is the best government in the world, it can't happen to us, and they don't understand it's not the government. It's a secret organization that has penetrated, infiltrated the government, and actually taken over our government, and is now causing the government to act against us through their actions, not through what was legally and constitutionally set up to perform as our government. And that is functioning the way it's supposed to. And when it's run by citizens, real citizens, then it works.
Wow. This is mind-boggling to think about, that this huge organization is manipulating, controlling not only drugs and crime, and you also would say it's part of the Hussein war in Iraq right now?
Absolutely, yes.
What's going to be the outcome in your perception?
Well, let me give you the scenario.
Too many people over there, and this guy, you know, any government leader with all the pressure being put upon him now would completely surrender or just evacuate Kuwait and say, I'm going home.
This is orchestrated. Hussein is reading his script and acting out his role to bring about the New World Order. You see, change can't come about without conflict, because people resist change. It's the normal thing. You must have a disaster.
And conflict is economy.
Right, to institute great change. Not only that, but think who's over there. They've sent 500,000 of our most devout, most dedicated patriots who are sworn to uphold and protect the Constitution. They're now in the Middle East. They're out of the country. They're in a position, in a foreign environment, very hostile environment, where they can be killed very easily with chemical warfare. And I have to tell you this from my stint in the military, that our troops have no protection in a desert environment against chemical warfare. Those men are dead. They have to get the patriots out of the country, as many as they can, and they have to get rid of them, because patriots will not allow them to suspend the Constitution and join the New World Order. The ones who are left, when this happens, are targeted and will be rounded up in the dead of night, probably on Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's, when they know that everyone will be home, in order to bring about the New World Order, to join the New World Order. That's what's happening in the Middle East. Nobody cares if Hussein invaded Kuwait. Nobody believes, or could possibly believe, that we're there to prevent the price of oil from going up to $26 a gallon, because our mere presence has driven it up to almost $35 a gallon. If there's a war, it's going to go much higher than that. Bush told the truth when he said that out of the Middle East conflict will come the New World Order. He was telling the truth. And it's one of the few times that he's told the truth.
Okay, now Bill, you're absolutely fascinating, and this is information which is startling to a lot of people. It will be. Now I want to get back to the M12, or the ones who are in contact with extraterrestrial intelligences, whether they come from alternate realities or other dimensions, or whether they come from some physical time, place.
Well, I have to tell you that I've never seen an extraterrestrial. Never in my life.
But you've seen the craft.
I've seen the craft. I
How
know
many
that it's
times?
real. This between a 7 and 10 minute period. This thing or these things.
When you were aboard the carrier?
Yeah, when I was aboard the submarine. Went up and down. I don't know how many times, but many times during that period.
Did you check it on the sonar? Did the other people check it on sonar in the submarine?
We had sonar contact. We had radar contact. When it was in the water, we had sonar. When it was in the air, we had radar.
Did it ever make any intelligent contact with you folks?
Not that I'm aware of. And if they had, I wouldn't be aware of it, because I had nothing to do with the radio room, and they didn't talk about what they did, and they shouldn't.
Now, I'm going to ask you as well. There's so much I want to ask you about all the papers that you witnessed and all the documents that you've witnessed. Did it give a clear, categorical statement that UFOs do exist, that there are other intelligences?
Yes.
They can't...
That's exactly what it said.
Did it indicate where they come from, or say from a physical dimension, or from a parallel dimension, like a...
No, according to the documents that I saw, they're real, just as real as you and I. They're from this dimension, and they're from other planets, and specifically named a planet somewhere within the Pleiades, a planet that is around Barnard's star. It mentioned the Sirius, the star Sirius. It mentioned a planet around the star Betelgeuse in the constellation of Orion. It mentioned planet in the the binary star grouping of Zeta 1 and 2 Reticuli. And it stated that there were at least 4 groups of 4 different species of extraterrestrial beings here visiting and surveying the Earth.
Now, in other words, they're walking the streets right now.
Yes, if this whole thing is real. You see, I found, and I have to say this, I believe they're real. Let me put that first. I really believe they're real. But I don't believe that they're the bad guys that the secret powers want us to believe that they are. Because if they're real, they've been visiting us for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to kill us all, they could have done that thousands of years
they could
ago.
have taken over the planet, but they're not allowed
Right.
to intrude, I feel. Now, when you say the good guys and bad guys, like Betty Hill, she and Barney Hill were about the standard guy, about 5 foot high with a big, large head, big eyes, and things like that. Then there's other people who indicate that the Greys, which are large heads but smaller, these are negative characters. And then there's some people who say they look like any one of us. They're in human form, and you can't tell them without a scorecard. Now, what is your perception of all the information that you have received?
My perception is that I believe extraterrestrials are real, but it doesn't mean that I'm right, because I found evidence and statements as far back as 1917 by people who belong to this secret power group to create an artificial alien threat from another planet in order to unite humanity and bring about the New World Order. So there's a possibility. Oh yeah. So there's a possibility that this thing could be a total hoax, because they have the capability to have actually rewritten history.
Oh, they can, certainly.
Yeah. But I believe that they're real. I believe, however, they're being made out to be bad guys to bring about this New World Order.
To bring us closer together, in other words. So we can be manipulated into a unified thought.
Right. But what we're being manipulated into is not going to be good for us. It's going to be good for the secret power group, for the very wealthy, elite, rich, powerful people. We're literally going to be relegated to economic slavery. And if we go out of the confines that they put us in, are in the pattern of actions that they wish us to act out, they will simply put you into a camp which is going to be called a mental treatment center to reprogram you.
Much like those camps they put the Japanese American citizens in during World War II.
Right, and if that doesn't work, it's extermination time, because they're not going to mess with anybody.
In other words, they're going to start... in other words, your life would be threatened too, wouldn't it?
My life was
Threatened many times?
Forfeit when I first opened my mouth. But, I had to make a decision. Am I going to live out my life knowing inside what I know and betraying my fellow man and hating myself for that? Or am I going to speak up and tell people what I know and have some self-respect and be able to go and meet my God and look him straight in the eye and say, I did a good thing?
Well, you'd have been congratulated, certainly.
Well, I think this is the choice that people have to make on a daily basis, whether they know what I know or not, in order for this to be a good world. Because if everybody acted in that manner, we would never have any problems on this earth.
Are there many people who want to ridicule you and put you down?
Well, that happens all the time. It comes with the territory.
Absolutely.
And at first it hurts and it stings and it feels terrible, but after a while you get used to it. You don't even pay any attention to it after that. Oh, yeah, there are some people who their whole life's mission is to shut me up, and it won't work.
I tell you, you were in Naval Intelligence, and I happened to be part of that organization for a little while. I was a photographer, though. I went there with the photograph and got the images. Then I was told to keep my mouth shut. What I seen, it's top secret, confidential. You got a nice tailor shop. You want to keep it open? It's almost like giving a little bit of a threat. If you say too much,
Oh,
they're going to spank you.
It's definitely a threat. People are now getting letters, people who go up to this position where I told them about near Area 51 in Nevada, where they can see these craft fly.
Okay, Area 51 in Nevada. What is this? This is a location where people can see UFOs fly?
It used to be one of the most remote spots in the United States, but of course now there's people,
What's the nearest city to it, Area 51?
I believe it's Ash Springs, and that's about maybe 40 miles.
And if they were to go there, what would they see?
They will actually see these craft, what we call flying saucers, flying in the air.
Not the big baby that you saw from the submarine.
No.
They'll see the little scout ships or
Right.
something like that?
They'll see those about 30 feet